In this video, you will learn the biggest mistakes men make and the biggest mistakes women make. Men will understand how they invalidate women, and women will understand how they make men feel incompetent.
20 years ago, the only way to get sex was to get married. So you would accept anybody. That sounds like a joke, but that's real. When suddenly you can have sex without getting married, you start getting real picky. Says, hey, let me wait a while until I find the perfect person here for me. And you start looking. Now the flip side of that is women. Women can go out and make money now. They can go out and have their own jobs en masse. They're in the workforce. They don't need a man to pay the rent as much as they did before. See? So they can wait too. They can wait and pick and choose what I want. Let me see if I get everything I can get. Okay? And it makes relationships a lot more difficult. But the good news of this is we're certainly not going to be able to turn back the clock. But in going ahead is that these new expectations, new desires can actually make relationships much, much better. All we have to do is learn how to fulfill those expectations, and there are new techniques for doing it. I've seen it happen to thousands of people. Just from this book, Men Are From Mars, we got over 15,000 calls from people saying it saved their marriages. Saved, that means there's a problem, and a big problem, and it saved it. Why? Because they didn't understand the differences. I remember one woman said, we've lived together for 30 years, and we just want to throw in the towel. We just realized we're too different. And then she went, oh, these differences are normal. You mean you have them too? Everybody else has them? There's nothing wrong with me? Nothing wrong with him? You mean I don't have to try to change him? I went, no. She says, good, because anything I ever tried to change him didn't work. And that's another very important skill, women, is to remember. Any attempt to directly change a man will cause him to become even more stubborn. Okay? Particularly in his behavior. You try to get him to change his behavior, he resists. Now, there are ways to get more. And there are ways to actually change him. But we'll get to that later. Only with his permission. Only when he wants to do it. But just as men become very rigid around behavior changes, trying to get him to change and do different things, improve the way he dresses, improve the way he spends money, improve the way he keeps records, improve the way he washes dishes, whatever. Seems like women want to improve everything about us. We resist it, resist it. Why? Because on Mars, the formula is don't fix it unless it's broken. So anything you do to improve the relationship, we take as an insult. And of course, what's the scariest thing in a guy's experience of life? Woman says to him, honey, we need to talk. Oh no, not that. No. What do we have to talk about? At this point, hoping it's the weather. She goes, you know. No, I don't know. What is it? The relationship. Women want to talk about the relationship. And it's so hard for men because anything you want to... Why do you want to talk about the relationship? To clear up things, to make it better, to make everything more wonderful. And women know a relationship has to get better and better. Otherwise, it starts getting worse and worse. So they're always working to make it better and better. Just like a man knows in the Martian world, the workforce, you always got to keep producing a better product, become more efficient, be more effective, stay up with things. Otherwise, your company's going to die. So men are always into improving their businesses. And then they come home and get upset when their wives want to improve the relationship. But see, on Venus, relationships are what's important. It's the basis of everything, along with tofu. Okay. Cooking, nurturing, family, counseling. This is all reality for them. This is very important stuff. So you get the Martians and Venusians together. They're a perfect match. They complement each other. And they had wonderful relationships because they understood the differences were there. When the Martian would go to his cave, the Venusian would knock on the door. He'd say, oh, can't you read the sign here? And she goes, no. What does that mean? He said, well, it means if you come in, you're going to get the dragon. If you never come in, you'll never see the dragon. What's the dragon? That's when I get angry and upset. She goes, oh, so I just don't come in? He says, yeah. She goes, oh, but that would be terrible of me to leave you when you need me most. Oh, can I sit by the door? He says, no. What I'd like you to do is do something that makes you happy, that has nothing directly to do with me. And the best thing you can do is go out and spend my money and then come back home and show me what you bought. And then I'll feel like, hey, I spent the whole day in the cave and she's happy because of me. See, that's accomplishing two birds with one stone. I got my space and she's happy. Okay? But that's the secret, is her doing something that makes her happy. And for most Venusians, the thing that makes them most happy is going shopping. Second to talking, it's shopping. Hey, you don't believe me? Go into the shopping malls. It's the women. They invade the place. They're there. And you can see the way men and women shop differently. I go with my wife sometimes to shop as a great favor to her. Because it wears me out. I mean, I'm so exhausted after 30 minutes of shopping with her. Because she doesn't shop like a guy. A guy goes on a hunt. Okay? He's got a goal in mind. He knows where he's going. He wants to get there as fast as he can and get home. I want to buy pants. He goes to the pants store. He gets the pants. Kills it. Brings it home. Okay? I got my pants. He's victorious. He feels good. He achieved his goal. He got out there at a certain... Hey, I did it in 15 minutes. How about that? You know, it's like accomplishment, achievement. These are all Martian things. I go shopping with my wife. She didn't no hurry. She can go shopping for hours and buy nothing and come home happy. Because now she can go back and shop some more. So I go with her. And then she'll try on various outfits. She'll put one outfit on. She says to me, how does this look? And I'm sitting over in the chair, exhausted now. And of course, now in the stores, they have his chair. And some stores actually says his chair for him to sit. Because all of his energy is just coming out his legs. He's like, oh, how much longer? It seems like there's no end to it because there's no specific goal, end, come home, okay? She's happy and thriving. So she's putting on this outfit and looking in the mirrors, and I go, she's liking it. I go, good, good, good. And she says, well, I like this. I said, yeah, I like it too. She said, look good on me. She said, looks great, honey. She's like, yeah, it looks good. I'm not sure. It fit. She's taking it off now. Put on another outfit. And then another outfit. She goes, is this me? Is this me? I think it's me. No, it's not me. And she'd take it off. Doesn't buy anything. I'm defeated. All that time, it means we have to go again to do it. It's just a difference in style. It's difference in priorities. I mean, one of the big things was understanding dress. It's just the Venusian dress code. They put a lot of work and energy into presentation. See, men just get ready. Okay, women prepare to get ready. Okay, they do this whole preparation thing. I mean, think about how many choices they have to make. For guys, we have pants and a shirt. And if it's a little bit more fancy, a tie and a jacket. That's it. For women, it's like a skirt. Is it knee length? Is it shorter? Is it longer? Is it all the way down? What does it have at the bottom? Does it match this? The earrings have to go with the shoes, have to go with the belt, have to go with the top. Is it going to be all one piece? Is it a skirt and a belt? What purse is she going to wear with it? Is it this kind of purse or that kind of purse? It's like a huge process. Now, who's going to be there? What kind of event is it? I mean, they put a lot of work into getting ready. The amount of man hours or woman hours that went into getting the women ready tonight is about 1,000 times more than what went into getting the guys ready. You can look at the Academy Awards, and what do you see? You see a sea of color on a background of black and white, black tuxedos. All the guys got their standard outfit they put on every year, okay? They don't have to think. They don't have to do anything extra. Just put on that outfit. Takes them the same amount of time to get ready. The women have been planning for months what they're going to wear, and they may just wear it once, and that's it. Never again, okay? They want to make their statement. They want to express their feelings. I know for me, I mean, this carries even into the bedroom. I remember one time I was in bed with my wife, and I was going to make love with her, and I was touching her, making some moves, and kissing her a little bit, and she went, wait a second. I said, why? She says, I want to change. It was so sweet. It was so female. And she's getting up to go change. I said, honey, why are you going to change? I'm just going to take it off. It's got to be the right outfit to come off, okay? It wanted to express her mood. You see, expression of feeling is so very important, and dress is one way to do it, okay? So we were very happy together, and when there were problems, we went to the counselors, and the counselors were really just a book. The book was the translation. When a Venusian says this, what she means is this. When a Martian says this, what he means is this. The Martians go to their cave. Venusians learn to give them space. They go, okay, this time to just be real Venusian. Do anything that makes me happy. Don't have to feel guilty. Don't have to feel responsible for him. He'll be out later. And when he comes out later, he'll have nothing to say. Now, that was a very important thing for women to learn. Because if a woman stops talking for hours or days, she's got a lot to say. The Martians and Venusians, they had those things come up, but they were able to solve them because they understood that they were different. There was nothing wrong with the differences. You didn't have to change the other person. You just had to work with the differences. So they are so happy. They're in love. They knew everything they knew before except one thing. They forgot. They forgot that they were from different planets. As soon as they forgot that they were from different planets, that's where the problems started setting in. That's where the men, or the Martians, started trying to fix the Venusians. when they would talk and share and express and get upset about things, we thought that you were broken and we needed to fix you. And since that point, women have resisted men. It's the most difficult thing, men, to ever try to accomplish is to change a woman's feelings. Don't even give it a thought. Okay? Of course, when they have these feelings that come up that aren't congruent with ours, we go, oh, I'll fix that. I'll explain to her why she shouldn't feel that way. And that just makes them sit into those feelings. I'm not budging from these feelings till you get why I feel this way. In the same way, women stay stuck in their feelings if you try to change them. Men stay stuck in their behavior styles. See, they will not change anything about themselves. I am the way I am. Nobody's going to change me. What you see is what you get. Okay? It's a very Martian kind of statement. That guy will change overnight if he starts getting what he needs most, which is acceptance. Let him get messages that he is accepted the way he is, that he is loved the way he is, and then learn to communicate that to him, and then he will start giving more to you. That's the secret, is to give him what he needs so he wants to give more back. So, we came here, we forgot that we're different. Martians tried to fix the Venusians. What did the Venusians do? They saw these Martians and they thought, these guys need serious rehabilitation. Okay? So they went on their campaign to improve the Martians. And this is what women will do today. They'll love a man. They think he's so wonderful. I love him. He does this, he does this, he does this. They get married, and then suddenly she opens up the home improvement committee. Out of love, she thinks, how can I improve him? He becomes the target of all her suggestions. And of course, to a man, that is the worst thing you can do, to communicate to him that he needs to change. He gets the message that he's not loved and he's not enough. What's the biggest mistake we men make? We try to fix women. Women get upset, we're going to fix you. The two biggest mistakes we make in our relationships is men become Mr. Fix-It at the wrong time. It's okay to fix the plumbing, to fix the fence, to solve this. Matter of fact, it makes us very attractive to women. Women love it. Guy, Mr. Handyman, Mr. Maintenance Man, Mr. Fix-It, Mr. Do this, do that. Because the thing about it is we love doing it. We love solving problems. And women go, this is great. He's doing it for me, and he loves doing it just because he loves to do it as well. Okay? It's like an extra bonus. You don't owe him anything if he fixes the fence. Yep, I fixed that fence. You like it? All you have to say is, oh, it's beautiful, honey. He goes, yep, what else do you want me to fix? Okay? Your love is payment enough. He just wants to do things, accomplish things, solve things, and that motivates him in the relationship to give more. The problem comes up is when Mr. Fix-It puts on his hat when the woman needs to talk. See? When a woman needs to talk, what men don't know is that the one problem that needs to be solved is she needs someone to listen. She needs someone to give empathy. And men haven't learned how to do that. Because on Mars, we didn't do that. If it was a friend of ours and they were upset, a way of loving him or supporting him was to minimize the problem. Like, I'm sure you can handle it. Eh, you'll handle it. Eh, so what, fire the guy. No big deal. They minimize. That's our way of being supportive. It's kind of like brush it off, like no big deal. He's so together, he can handle it. If we try to do that with women, it's the very worst thing. So here's some Mr. Fix-It type phrases that we use, which would work on Mars. Let's say a Martian's talking to another Martian. He's using all these words. I think, hey, don't bother with all the words. Get to the point. Just give me the bottom line. The Martian goes, yeah, I don't want to waste time on all the words either. Here's the bottom line. We take it as a compliment. Let's get right to the bottom line. Don't waste time talking. Try saying that to a woman. So what's the point, honey? Whew. She has to start all over and begin, okay? Or she's sharing things to create closeness or whatever. He goes, honey, we've had this conversation before. I've heard it all. Oh, bad news, pal. Or let's say she's hurt. Her feelings are hurt. The biggest mistake we men make, and we don't even realize how devastating it is. We don't. It's just we're unconscious of it. She's hurt. She says, I feel hurt. He goes, no, you shouldn't feel hurt. Oh, worst thing you can do is like taking a knife and sticking it into the wound and digging it in. And then we say, no, you shouldn't feel hurt. That's not what I said. Or that's not what I meant. Or let me tell you all the reasons why I had to do what I did. She don't want to hear all that. What she wants to hear is, oh, that hurt? Oh. And just feel awful with her for a few moments. See, men always want to fix it. They want to, how can I take us out of the pain? Women don't want you to take them out of the pain. They want you to join them together in the pain. We'll share this moment, this experience together. Or another phrase we'll do, and again, we think we're helping. We'll say, honey, so I understand you feel this and this and this. We'll do some advanced relationship skills that we read in some book, active listening. So I understand you feel this way and this way. And then we ruin it all by this one little phrase. But don't you kind of think you're making a big deal out of this? It's not that important. Woo! Big trouble, pal, big trouble. Now, I've been teaching this about 12 years now, and I still make mistakes. And it's very important to know that hearing this the first time doesn't mean you've learned it. In education theory, it's very clear that to learn something new takes 200 times. If you're a genius, 150 times. Hearing it again and again and again. You don't just get it. And particularly if you're going to learn something about Venusians, man, it's going to be a while before you get it, before it becomes second nature. And for women, if you're going to learn something about men, you'll tend to forget. You'll be knocking on that cave so many times. The dragon will come out. You'll be all upset. You'll go back and you go, oh yeah, I made that mistake. I knocked on the cave door. I'm supposed to just leave him alone for a while till he shows signs of life. Okay? Once he starts moving in your direction or sees you, that means he's out of the cave. Okay? Now that I understand it's hard for women to know when we're in or out of the cave, I make clear delineations of it. When I'm out of the cave, I always go and find my wife. And I touch her. That's the signal. That says I'm available for relationship. See? And men wouldn't think to do that. They don't understand. Okay? Because generally, if you've been in the cave a while, she's giving you the cold front again. He doesn't care. He's ignoring me. I'm not important to him. Other things are more important. He gets more attention to that football team than he did for me, our whole relationship. She starts getting really angry inside. So the guy comes out of his cave, he goes, ooh, she's in a bad mood. I'll just ignore her. It makes her get in a worse mood. Then she starts throwing darts to see if there's anything in there. Do you care at all? He goes, she's really upset. I'll go for a drive. He's back out in the car again. Instead, you do the opposite of your gut reaction. You walk right in that tornado. You go touch her. Hi, honey. And I always feel the temperature by the touch. If she's really angry with me, she goes, like that. And I don't get all offended by it. I used to. Now I understand. No, this is the test. It's very important. Venusians are all into testing, okay? She's testing to see if I can hear what she has to say. So she just lets her reaction come up. She goes, and gives me this look. And I stand there like, well, of course she's going to give me a look like that. She's upset. Let's find out what she's upset about. So I just stand there. Don't say anything. Just stand there. Now most guys, when you touch, you go, well, I was just trying to be helpful. Forget that. I read our book. I got to bother with that anymore. Instead, she resists you. You stand there. Look at her. They love when you look at them. You don't have to say anything. See, I'm telling you, man, is you don't have to go through massive change. You don't have to become these articulate, expressive, feeling type guys. All you have to do is respect her feelings. Show interest in her feelings. Ask her questions. Draw her out. Men don't want to be drawn out. Women do. Our nature is not to draw somebody out because we don't want to be drawn out. So what we have to learn to do is change things around inside and go, oh, okay, I'm supposed to go over and notice her now, get her to talk. And then when she starts talking, what does she talk about? Oh, no, problems. Not more problems. She's got a list of 20 problems that she's been storing up till she could talk about them. So here they do. Here they come. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. By the third problem, the guy's exhausted. He goes, oh no, I can't solve all those things. I'm already tired. Because he thinks he's supposed to solve the problem. In addition to thinking he's supposed to solve the problem, he's feeling defeated. Because men are so goal-oriented. The more they love you, their goal is for you to be happy. So if you talk about a problem, then that's one failure on his list. Talk about another problem, oh, that's something else that she's not happy about. That's something else she's not happy about. He ends up feeling defeated. Get to 20 problems, the guy's in the worst mood of his life. I remember once doing this, I was practicing listening because I understood women needed to talk and to share, they feel better. I'm sitting there listening to my wife go through 10 or 15 problems about her life, which includes me. She'd say things like, oh, the house is always such a mess, nobody ever helps me clean it up. I do everything myself. I go, what do you mean, you do everything yourself? I keep quiet, keep it zipped. I listen some more. She says, oh, the kids just aren't like they used to be. They're much harder to deal with now. I don't know what's going on, but it's something. Our life is just filled with so much stress. I think she's saying that I'm making our life filled with stress. She's saying since we moved into this house, life isn't better. Now it's worse because we did this. How much the house cost? So I'm taking all this stuff personally. Why is she so upset about this? Then she goes on and she says, oh, I was late on the checkbook. I even made one check go over. We just got to notice the check bounced. It's amazing how my wife can talk about things like that and feel no kind of reservation about pointing out she bounced a check. It's like somehow obviously not her fault because there's so much going on in her life. You know, when I bounce a check, I don't want anybody to know about it. She broadcast to everybody, oh, and I bounced 2 checks. I've got so much going on in my life. I got this going on and this going on. So she's going down the whole list of problems, and then, you know, and then a few more. And you were gone the other day, and then this happened. I didn't know what to do, and I called so-and-so. It was the wrong time to call them. Now I'm thinking, is she blaming me for being gone? But I was working. We got to make some money around here. What do you know? So I'm getting all frustrated, but trying to be a good listener, zipping it up, because if I say anything, it just makes it worse. Okay? If I say any of that stuff, we're in a big argument, so I keep it zipped. So 15 problems down the line, my posture is way down like this. I'm just feeling like awful. I'm feeling like, gosh, you know, I thought I was doing well in this relationship. I got the most unhappy woman in the world. I am a failure. Okay? Well, about that time, she was done. And she looked at me and she says, oh, you look terrible. She said, you look the way I felt. And that was a very important comment. You mean I look the way you felt? You mean you don't feel that way anymore? She goes, no, I feel much better. That was a great conversation. Conversation? But she did feel better. I went, you mean you really feel better now? She goes, yeah. Even though all those problems still exist? She goes, yeah, I've forgotten them now. I feel good. You know, we can have a good time tonight. I went, good time tonight? I feel like, ugh. But it was amazing, when she told me she felt better, suddenly I had succeeded in making the woman I care most about happy, and suddenly I came back to feeling great. I felt fantastic. But I needed that message. And that's what women today don't understand, is a guy can listen for a while, she will appreciate it greatly, but never tell the guy. He doesn't know that we've just achieved and accomplished something. See, men need definite reward. Okay, like I worked all these hours, I got paid. They go, okay, that was worth it. Okay? So if he listens to you for a while, he needs that check. It's like a payment. And what's the payment? It's just simply, oh, I feel so much better now. He goes, you do? Yeah, I just need to talk about it. He goes, you did? You mean this really worked? She goes, yeah, I felt much better. That's the second time. Now, 200 times of that experience, he won't need that feedback. It takes 200 times getting the message that this really worked, that you're very appreciative of it, then a guy learns to do it. Men will learn to do that which works. But we have to see that it works. And most of the time, when women talk and we listen and we don't say anything, she just keeps bringing up more problems. Sometimes more upsetting problems. So we think this is not working. She's just going to dig herself into a bottomless pit and never be happy. So we need clear, tangible evidence that this is working, that it actually makes you feel better. And if you're in a relationship where your husband can't hear but 1 or 2 problems, then start there. Just say, oh, honey, I'm in a bad mood today. Would you just listen to me? He goes, no, not that. And you can sense he's saying that. But you go, it will just take about 5 minutes. Oh, okay, 5 minutes, I could deal with that. There's closure at the end. I mean, there's something definite. See, men panic when the problems start happening because women start talking in circles. See, they keep going around and around. It's like they can go on forever as opposed to the point. So when women start to circle, we panic because it can go on forever. So you give us a little time limit. It'll just take about 5 minutes. I go, okay, I can do that. And he's straining. He can't stand it. And what you say to him is, would this be a good time? In his guts, the reaction is, no time is a good time to listen. But you overlook that. You just go, that's his guts. In his heart and his mind, he is willing, at least for 5 minutes. He needs a little training here. So you talk for 5 minutes. In the beginning, talk about problems that definitely don't have direct bearing on him. Although to some extent, everything has direct bearing on him. But you just try other people, whatever. And you talk. And he'll interrupt you, as he usually does, give you solutions. You'll complain about your job. He'll say, quit that stupid job. And you go, yeah. You know, right now, I just need to talk about it, and I'll feel much better. And he goes, oh, yeah, that's right. I'm not supposed to be offering solutions. Give him that feedback. Give him the job description every time of what he needs, and he can do it. That's all he needs, is to know what's required of him and know that he'll get rewarded, meaning that it will work. Men just don't do things if they don't think it's going to work. He thinks it's completely useless to sit here and listen to problems, because if men sat around just talked about problems and nobody was to offer solutions, they would be so depressed. They go home, I'm so incompetent, I've got all these problems, and so are all my friends, they're wimps, they're weak, whatever. Whereas women, what do? When I first started studying the differences between men and women, it was going to the Goodwill Cafe in Marina. And there they had those circular tables. And I'd sit listening in to the women talk. The Venusians would all form these little circles. They didn't think any men were listening, so they came in pure Venusian style. And what was that? They all took turns talking about problems. They never stopped to solve them. They never offered solutions. They never took responsibility for their part. They just talked about problems. I wasn't even married to any of them, and I was going nuts, okay? I mean, it's like, how can you say that? Well, what are you going to do about that? You're just going to let that happen? You're going to stay with that guy? I mean, don't you see how you caused that? None of that. They just like going around. And then you saw another aspect of the Venusian culture, is that generally they'd all talk except one. They wouldn't leave till they got that one person to talk. They'd also focus in on her. Now, what's been going on, Glenda? We know something's happening. What is it? Because when a Venusian doesn't talk, you're supposed to go, oh, it must be something really important. See, on Mars, if it's something really important, you interrupt everybody and you tell them. If I have something to say, I find my wife and tell her. I'll interrupt anything if it's important. If it's really important with her, she waits around, waiting for me to ask, how was that medical appointment you went to today? How did the meeting go with the teacher? Whatever it was something important, she wants me to ask her about it. And she's not going to tell me until I ask. So when they don't want to talk much, then you know something big is brewing in there. And you better start thinking, what was I supposed to know? Okay, what was I supposed to remember here? And that's the big mistakes we men make. We give these Mr. Fix-It solutions. Women make mistakes. They give the Home Improvement Committee suggestions. Here's an example of the Home Improvement Committee in action. One day I was being Mr. Fix-It, fixing the toilet. I'm in there fixing the toilet. Of course, the first thing you do is you jiggle it and see if it will stop. It didn't stop. Now I took off the top and I'm inside trying to screw things around, move stuff around, working with this thing, thinking I can fix it. 15 minutes passed, it was still making noise. I was quite embarrassed and frustrated. Well, my wife sensed the upset. She had the antennas. Oh, he needs me. So she came into the bathroom to watch me fail. That was the loving thing to do. Let me help him. She comes in to watch me and look at me. I give her these kind of hot glances, out of here, would you, But she thinks, oh, he's being kind of mean, but that means he really must need me more. So she stays and looks at me some more. Then she starts to feel my frustration. Now my frustration is more that she's watching me fail than actually failing here. So then she says to me, out of the benevolence of her heart, how to improve the situation, she goes, John, if you jiggle that little handle, sometimes it helps. Oh, really? Is that true? I didn't know that. Here I am doing all this other stuff. I could have just jiggled the handle. Thanks so much, honey. But you get out of here, okay? Now, of course, I didn't say all that, but I felt it. Then she kind of felt a little bit of cool breeze from my side and starts to walk off. But a new wave of compassion fills her heart, and she comes back to watch me fail some more. And this time, after a few minutes of watching, she says, John, I bet you could call the plumber and he'd know what to do. Is that right? You could just dial the phone and there are guys who know what to do? Why didn't I think of that? Call the plumber. What am I wasting my time here for doing this? I'm completely incompetent at these things. Of course I don't know what to do. Call the plumber, of course. She doesn't realize at the moment. She thinks she's helping, suggesting, but it doesn't help. It makes him feel incompetent in your perception. It feels embarrassing to him, frustrating to him. And there's all kinds of little things women do unknowingly. I'll buy a computer, and I spent months figuring out the best deal and the whole thing, bring it home, show them, look at this computer, and look what it does. I remember when I got my first color computer. She goes, you got color? I went, yeah. What do you need color for? All you use is a word processor. I said, the color allows you to have a little blue band around the page. You paid $1,000 more for color, so you can have a little blue band around it? Yes, I paid $1,000 more so I can... Now, she's just trying to help me get a better deal in life, help me see the picture, the reality. She'll come to my office sometimes and she'll say, how can you think with all these papers everywhere? We've got to clean up this office. We don't have to clean up this office. This is how I work, if you've noticed. But you can't work in an office like this. If you straighten everything up, your thoughts will be clearer. Oh, thanks. Maybe you could help me write my next book, honey. That's fantastic. You know better than I do. See, she just being happy and helpful, going in and ruining my life. Okay? Our little things, little reminders when we're driving in the car. She'll say things like, And she'll see a policeman. Maybe she's going to help me out if I'm driving a little fast. She'll go, honey, slow down. There's a policeman. I go, oh, thanks for telling me that, honey, to slow down. See, another Martian in the car wouldn't tell me to slow down. He doesn't need to tell me what to do. He'd just say, there's a cop behind us. He knows I know how to slow down if I want to slow down. It's up to me. Do I want to slow down? Do I want to speed up? Can I outrun the guy? It's my choice, okay? Don't tell me what to do, okay? And that's the biggest complaint men have. When over and over, the biggest frustration complaint men have is women giving unsolicited advice.